Hello everyone, I hope you're okay in the weird wacky world that we're now living. Very, very peculiar carryings on, I must say, with all the strangeness that's going on. But try and stay sane, okay? And watch some of my videos. They keep you sane, I hope. I'm a bit nuts anyway, so if you watch some of my videos, you might like them and might make you laugh and feel a bit light-hearted. So anyway, today, what I'm going to do was because me and my partner I haven't made any videos for a week or so because I've been on a fast with my partner, and we broke our fast yesterday, and I feel perfectly fine today, absolutely fine. When you're on a fast, it does make you feel quite weak. I'm going to do a fasting video, so if you're interested in fasting, look out for that video. We'll just concentrate on fasting. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, and I don't advise you to do it. It's up to you. It's your own personal choice. This is our personal choice for looking after our health. This is what we do. Every now and then we have quite a long fast, so that's what we've been doing for the past week. But now we've come off the fast, we don't want to start eating the way we did before. Christmas is gone now, and we need to now concentrate on what food we're eating. And so I'm going to make a low carb bread today in my bread making machine because, can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. So I'm going to make a low carb bread in our bread making machine. So I've been researching different low carb breads for bread making machines, and I found this one on the internet. It's an American recipe, so it's all in cups, I'm afraid. And if you need to translate that into grams, then you'll have to do it, but I haven't translated it into grams. I'm just going to use it as cups because I do have cups, so I'm just going to use that. I don't know why I'm looking around, my cup is in the sink, but I've measured out all the ingredients. I just wanted to show you the actual ingredients of what it is and where to get it from, okay, because you might not be able to get this, and I ordered it last night and it came this morning. How good is that? Last night I ordered it and it came this morning. So I thought I was going to have to wait a few days before I could make this bread, but it came this morning. I was really surprised. So anyway, I'll just tell you what you need for this and the order that you need to do it in. In American bread makers, they seem to put the wet ingredients first, but this particular bread maker, which is a Panasonic, what is that? SO206 or something. That's the SD206 model. It's quite over 20 years old, this bread making machine. This was my partner's bread making machine, and I didn't make bread up until a few months ago, and now I really love making it. It's so simple to make bread in a bread making machine. So it has this little pot, and you just put all the ingredients in here, and then you just turn it on. So everybody's been going on about this particular recipe, so I'm hoping it comes out just like bread. Because the thing is, when you're on a low carb diet, the one thing you miss is bread, and the most fattening food that you can eat is bread. So to have a low carb bread is much better, and then it gets over that weird craving that you have for bread, like having a sandwich or a piece of toast. You just want one of those sometimes, don't you? So this is low carb, high fat diet, okay, it's a keto diet. So if you want to know any more about it, just let me know, because me and my partner have done keto a lot when we was living in Sweden, and we're just starting it again now, and the first thing I'm making this year for the keto diet is bread, okay, because it's really important to have your little home comforts. Anyway, so in this recipe for this low carb bread, so I was just looking that it's only got 2 net carbs from fibre, from this oat fibre here. So when you look at this oat fibre, the carbs on it, that's ridiculous. The carbs on this oat fibre is 3 grams. But you take away some of those because obviously it's fibre. So, and then on this vital wheat gluten, the carbs are 10 grams, but you have to reduce that down. That's for the whole bag, obviously. That's not for a portion, that's for the whole bag, so you just break that down. Right, so enough of that. You can go and research all carbs and everything yourself to make sure you're doing low carb, but this is a low carb bread, so there's hardly any carbs in it. I mean, obviously there might be a couple, but there's not hardly any. Anyway, so what you need for this recipe is 1 cup of tepid water. So I've warmed this water up, 1 cup, in the microwave, and there it is. And I weighed it out, and then I poured it into this little jug. And then you need 2 eggs slightly beaten. Try and use organic or free-range eggs if you can, okay? So I've got 2 eggs slightly beaten. These are my own eggs from my own chickens. So they are actually organic. And then you need 2/3 of a cup of golden flaxseed or linseed. Right, in America they just have flaxseed, but in this country flaxseed is, it's because there's 2 different sizes of plants. One is short and one is long, okay? So I've got this organic golden linseed, which is the same as flaxseed, okay, from Whole Foods, organically grown. And what I do is grind it up, because if you buy the meal, you know, like all ground up, it goes off quite quickly. So if you just grind it up as you need it, so in here is the golden linseed, which is basically flaxseed. It's the same thing, it's just a different size plant basically. I did research this a while back. And then you need 1/2 cup of oat fibre. So this is the oat fibre. Okay, so you need 1/2 cup of this oat fibre. And then you need 1 1/4 cups of vital wheat protein. So this is the vital wheat protein in here, which is just protein, okay? And then you need 2 tablespoons of softened butter. So I've put my butter in the microwave so it's nice and soft in here. And then this is what I don't do, because I don't like this. 4 tablespoons of sweetener. You know, like artificial sweetener that you use. I'm not into artificial sweeteners one little bit, because some of those are not very good for you. And I really don't want 4 tablespoons of sweetener in my bread. I think the Americans have their bread quite sweet. I really don't like sweet bread unless it's brioche bread, which has a touch of sweetness in it. But I'm not having that, so I'm not putting that in. So we'll see what it tastes like. And plus, it won't activate the yeast, because it's artificial sweetener. It's not a real sugar, so it won't activate the yeast. So you need 1 teaspoon of salt, Himalayan salt if you can get it. So I ordered some Himalayan salt, which is ground up, which is in there. Himalayan salt has really good properties in it. Just go ahead and take a look and research a bit about different kinds of salt, because table salt is not a good salt to eat in your diet really. So try not to use that. But if you can just use any rock salts and stuff like that, they're much better for you. And then 1/2 teaspoon of xantham gum. So I've got this xantham gum here. This is a gluten-free one from Dove's Farm. So that's xantham gum there, okay? And it's here somewhere. Here it is, 1/2 teaspoon of xantham gum. And then 2 tablespoons of honey, raw if possible. Well, I couldn't get raw honey, but I do have this local Hilltop honey, which is actually produced, well, it's a non-EU honey, a blend of EU, non-EU honeys. If you can possibly, but this is a local company, Hilltop Honeys, it's in Powers. Normally I can buy honey, because there are people around here that have beehives, and you can usually buy honey. I'm thinking of getting a beehive maybe this year. I would love my own honey. And then so what I've done, sorry, I've just realised what I said. So 2 tablespoons of honey. It says in the original ingredients 1 tablespoon, but that's because they've got other sweetener in there. So we're having 2 tablespoons of honey, which the yeast needs to eat, okay? The yeast needs to eat the honey. That's how it rises the bread. So if you don't have any honey in it, which is a true sugar, it won't rise, okay? Because it wouldn't just rise if you just put sweetener in there. So you either need normal sugar or you need some kind of natural sugar, okay? And then 1 tablespoon of yeast. So this is my yeast that I use, and in here is a tablespoon of yeast. Hold on, I seem to have missed some bits here. Oh right, so the wheat protein is in here. I think this is the wheat protein. No, that's the oat fibre, so it just looks white. And this is a sort of more yellowy colour, which is the vital wheat protein. So that's that in there, okay? So what I'm going to do, because on my bread machine maker it says to always put the yeast in first, all the dry ingredients, and then the wet ingredients, okay? So I'm gonna follow the rules for this particular machine, but different machines ask you to put it in differently, so always look at your instructions for your particular machine and follow the rules for your machine. So I'm going to go by what I've been making normal bread, by putting the yeast in first, the dry ingredients on top of that, and then the wet ingredients on top of that. And I usually put the butter in last on the top. So that's how I do it. But you follow your instructions for your particular machine. So if you have to put in the wet first, then do it that way, and the dry, do it the way you're supposed to do it. So that's all we need to do. So I've told you all the ingredients. If you want this recipe, please leave me a comment below, and I will put the ingredients at the bottom of the video if you're interested in it. So I'll put the ingredients at the bottom of the video so you can go and make this yourself and see how it came out, with a slight variation of the original recipe. I've had to change it slightly because I do not like artificial sweetener, and I will not eat it no matter what, because I've read a lot about artificial sweetener and I don't like any of it basically. So I never put it in my cooking ever when I've done low carb cooking. I just won't. But if you need to have sweetener, then just put the sweetener in it, okay? But I don't, okay? So what we're going to do first is put in the yeast. So always put the yeast in the bottom of this particular machine. So spread it around, so try and spread your ingredients around. Then I'm going to put in the linseed, which I've ground up in my own little coffee grinder that I've got, and I always grind up everything in that. It's a great little machine, it's a Bosch, but the little knob thing came off years ago, but I just use a teaspoon, the other end of the teaspoon, to push the little knob down, and it works perfectly fine. So just sprinkle that round. So try and put it in evenly, the ingredients, inside your bread making machine. And then we're going to put in the, what is this stuff? The wheat protein. I've never used this before, ever. This is the first time I've ever made low carb bread in a bread making machine. I've never used these ingredients before, these oat fibres and wheat doodahs and xantham gum. I've never used it before. So this is the first time for everything. And then put in your oat fibre. You don't have to do it my way, just do it whichever way it suits you. So I'm just putting in all the dry ingredients. Then I'm going to put in the xantham gum. So just spread it around a bit. It tends to clog up apparently, I read. And then put in your salt. And then we'll put in the salt if we can get it to come out the pot. Just spread it around. Himalayan salt is really lovely, got a wonderful taste. And then we're going to put in the eggs, alright? So we're going to put in the eggs now. So there's a barrier between the dry and the wet ingredients, with the yeast being the best one at the bottom. And then we're going to put in the honey. So we're going to put in the honey, so we need a spoon. Find a spoon. So we're going to put in the honey. We need the honey to make it rise, because if you haven't got the honey in it, it's not going to do anything. So let's just hope this works, yeah? I'll let you know tomorrow, because I'll have to do the second part of this video tomorrow, because it takes 4 hours in this particular bread maker to make a loaf of bread. So it's not very fast. So I will show you the finished product tomorrow morning, okay? So this video, I will put the end of, I will join it on the end of this video. I won't put it in a separate video, I'll join it on the end of this video. because Google apparently doesn't like it when you put things in pots, apparently. I was reading. So, yuck. Ugh. Yeah, sticky. Tastes nice though. I have to wash my hands because I don't like them being sticky. Hello again, sorry about that. I had to go and wash my hands because they're a bit sticky. So what I'm going to do now is just put in the butter, which I've melted. It's sort of melted. It's really cold in this kitchen, which is why I'm wearing this great big chunky cardigan today. And I haven't got the oven on today because we don't need the oven on because this is in the bread maker and I'm not making any food today. In here, we've already had food, so we're not having any more today. We might have a sandwich later once the bread is done. It takes 4 hours though, so. Now, I'm just going to transport this into my bread making machine before, so switch it into place, before I pour the water on. So I'm just going to double check the water. Might warm it up a little bit more. You only want it tepid, but you need the bread. Oh, I've got my coffee in here. Oh, not working. Helps to switch it on. Oh, not switch it off, switch it on. So that's it really. So all you do is, the hardest bit is just getting all the ingredients together and making sure that you've got these particular ingredients and weighing it all out. Weighing it out is not a problem. You just use those cup things, you know. The Americans do everything by cups, don't they? So, but you can sort of put it into, so you can weigh it on the scales, I suppose. You know, go and see what it is in grams. Right, let's just check this isn't too hot. Oh, that's too hot now. Oh, it's too hot now. I'll be back again in a minute when the water's cooled down again because now I've heated it up too much. Okay, see you again in a minute. Bye. Hello again, Sue here from Sue's Dog Broad My Kitchen. And so the water's now cooled down a little bit. It's just to the touch now. It's not too hot. So I will just pour the water in and then I will just put the machine on. So I'm going to pour the water in now, spread it around, and now I'm going to put the machine on. So I just put the lid down, and it's set on a basic bread. That's it, and it's already selected for when we make it normally. So it's a basic bread, crust, I just pressed start, and that's it. Says bake. Okay, and that's it. So that's all you do is just put your bread in the bread making machine and that will cook for 4 hours now. So I'll see you again in the morning and I'll show you the loaf of bread because it'll be too late later to do another part of this video because yeah, it'll be 25 to 9. I don't really want to be doing another video at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so I'll show you the bread tomorrow. See you now. Oh, don't forget to like my channel and give me a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I leave a video up. And also don't forget to tell your friends and family about my channel, and I just hope you enjoy what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll finish the video tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Bye for now. Bye. Hello, Sue here again from Sue's Dog Broad My Kitchen, and I hope you're all well. So today I want to show you the end product of the keto low carb bread that I made the other day. Right, I just want to confess that the other day when I made the bread, I had it in my freezing cold kitchen, the bread machine in here, in the freezing cold kitchen, absolutely freezing. Right, it says that your bread maker should be kept in a warm place, right, because it needs to keep the ingredients warm and everything like that, and my kitchen absolutely freezing. Anyway, and also I put all the ingredients in as stated by the rules of my bread making machine, which means putting all the dry ingredients first, then the wet. Right, the bread wasn't very successful. It came out, but it wasn't very good. And also, the crust was way too hard. But it did rise and everything, but it was all knobbly, it didn't quite look right. So I've since done it again, doing the ingredients slightly different, the exact same amount of ingredients, I must say. I have them here. If you want the ingredients, they're American measurements, I will put them below. So just ask me for this low carb keto bread ingredients, okay, and I will put them below for you, okay. This one has come out perfect, what I've done today. So I've done it the other day and it didn't quite work, but today I've done it again and it's worked perfect. So what we did differently from the other day was, first of all, take the bread maker out of the freezing cold kitchen and put it in my partner's office where it is warm because he's in there all day. So it was put in there. It still took 4 hours by our bread making timer. Different bread makers take different amounts of time, and that's on basic bread setting, okay, basic bread setting. But we also turned down the crust. So instead of having it on a real crusty crust, we turned it down to a not very crusty crust, if you know what I mean. So the lower setting for the crust, so it didn't crispen up. And the other thing that we did wrong from the first video was that we didn't take the bread out immediately after cooking, okay, because it was really late and we went to bed, and my partner took it out in the morning and brought it up to me, and it had gone really crusty on the outside, because obviously in the bread maker, when it's finished making the bread maker is really hot, and you need to take the bread out as soon as possible, otherwise the crust will still keep on going more and more crusty, okay. So, but today I've redone the whole thing again with exactly the same ratio of ingredients, but we've moved the bread maker, we turned down the crust, and also I think the most important thing was that I put in the wet ingredients first, which is what it said on the recipe that I was following. It said to put the wet ingredients first, but on my bread making machine it always says to put in the dry ingredients first, but it didn't work. It mixed it up and it did rise and everything, but it was really knobbly on the top and really weird shape. Whereas this time it's mixed the ingredients perfectly and it smelled just like normal bread. In fact, my partner's office still smells of bread. It still smells of bread, and that's like 2.5 hours ago now since this bread has been done. And I've been letting it cool so that my partner could cut it with the slicing machine, so that I could show you what it looks like on the inside. So it is really light. It's really light, and look at that. And it smells amazing. And here's a slice. And it's soft. It's not like hard. It's quite soft. The actual loaf of bread is really soft and lovely and pliable. And look, it's nice and squidgy. Lovely. Look at the texture on that. So this is a low carb keto bread, okay? And if you want the ingredients for this, because we love bread, and what we find hard about keto diet, which is low carb, high fat diet, is actually being able to have a sandwich. Otherwise you just end up having crackers, and you have to make the crackers yourself, because if you buy shop bought crackers, they're either taste of nothing or they're just rubbish because they're mass produced. But this is amazing. So this means that we can have bread while on our keto diet. So I'm so pleased. So we can have a bacon sandwich, right? Because we love our bacon sandwiches, and just soldiers with our eggs in the morning and things like that, because we love boiled eggs, but we like having soldiers. We're like children, me and my partner. But just look at that, and that's the crust. But look at that, and it's as light as a feather. In fact, the whole loaf of bread is not like a lead weight, it's light. So I am so happy that this has come out. And that was just by tweaking it a bit. Exactly the same ingredients as what I'd done the first time, but put in a different order and putting the bread maker in a warm place and not leaving it in my freezing cold kitchen, which is actually probably the same temperature as my fridge. Usually during the daytime, and all evening it's always freezing, and the only time it ever warms up is when I've been doing some cooking. So the rest of the time it's absolutely freezing in here. But I'm so happy with this. This means I can have a sandwich still, so I'm so happy. So I'm actually going to taste it now because I really want to see what it tastes like. But I'm just going to cut it in half because I want my partner to have a bit as well. And I'm just going to put some butter, which actually hasn't gone really hard at the moment. I'm quite amazed. I just love butter. We only ever have butter. And I'm just going to taste it because I really want to see what it tastes like. It has a lovely taste, wonderful texture, and a lovely taste. It tastes much better than real bread. It's perfect. It's got a taste, because you can taste the yeast, but also this has these other fibres and stuff. You have to go back and have a look. The fibre, wheat germ and stuff like that in it, and it tastes like brown bread, but it isn't brown, it's white, and there's no flour in this. There's no flour in this. This is made with linseed, linseed or flaxseed, which I grind up, and that's what's in this. A couple of eggs, and these, what are they called? Fibres, oat fibre and wheat germ protein or something like that. But the texture is amazing. It's just like bread. Look at that. Oh my God. I love it. I'm so happy. Sorry, talking to my mouth full. Rude. So, success. Success. Keto bread, success. So, please, if you like this video, give me a like and a thumbs up. Tell your friends and family about my channel. And if you want to be notified, ring that notification bell every time I upload a new video. And I'll be making a lot more keto, low carb, high fat recipes. Okay, I have a keto book upstairs which I've made loads and loads and loads and loads of recipes from, and I'm going to start using it again and make loads and loads and loads more recipes. So if you want to look after your weight and change your lifestyle, low carb, high fat is really, really good for your body. And also I'm going to be doing a fasting video to show you what we do for our health, me and my partner, what we actually do for our health for fasting, because we not only do this low carb lifestyle, we also want do fasting, okay, which is really, really important for putting your body in balance, and it's one of the best things that we've ever done, and we never get ill. That's the truth, okay, because this is what we do for our health. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, just tell everybody about my channel. I'd be really appreciative if you could subscribe to my channel, as I don't have many subscribers. Not that I care, I do this for my own benefit because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy creating videos, and I just want to show other people that it's not difficult to do things. I mean, I've done so many videos now, different things that I've done, and they're all things that I enjoy doing, and they're all experiments that I've decided that I want to do, and I just do it. And so that's it for now. So there it is, my wonderful bread. I am so happy. It's like a light, like a, not a brown, but like, look, let's see. And a beautiful crust all round it. Look at that. It smells lovely. It's got quite a sort of meaty taste and smell to it, even though there's no meat in it whatsoever. But it's got like a nice yeasty, it's got a really good full flavour. It's not bland in any way. You can just easily eat it with nothing on it whatsoever. But the texture is just amazing. Look at that, the texture. So, there you are. So I'm really pleased with this recipe. So if you want this recipe, just comment below and I will put it up for you, okay? So, thank you for watching and bye for now. Bye. Great.